G'day, Rockhound here. Welcome to Mavericks Proving Grounds News, the series where I give you updates about the 400-person Battle Royale game Mavericks Proving Grounds, which is currently being developed by Automaton. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Earlier today, the developers released their first bi-weekly roundtable discussion video, where they answered lots of community questions about the game that were posted in the Mavericks subreddit. Loads of great info was discussed, so let's recap the details. The number one question that everyone wants an answer to is when will the closed beta start so that we all have a chance to play the game. This will happen at the end of June and will be done on a small scale to start with and then ramped up down the track. So we can all look forward to playing some Mavericks gameplay by the middle of 2018. Will the game have a first-person perspective option? Yes, it will, and the developers made a point of saying that they see first person as a priority for the Battle Royale mode, although the MMO part of the game will have more of a third person perspective focus. Will there be hit markers when shooting in the game? Yes, there will be, but they will only appear when you can actually see the player clearly. If you are spraying rounds through foliage randomly and by chance you hit a player, you won't get a hit marker. Now, I think this is an excellent decision from the developers and provides a good balance between hardcore and arcade style gameplay. They also mentioned that tracer rounds will be in the game, and they're currently testing out how best to work that. They also discussed time to kill for the game and how they want it to be slowed down a bit to allow players to have fair opportunities to escape from gunfights, especially when fighting players of similar ability. Healing items will also play a role in this, but they will discuss that further in a few weeks' time. There will be lots of destructibility in the game, including the exploding gas canisters, which I pointed out in a previous video, and that's awesome to hear. They're looking at all the ways they can include dynamic destruction. For instance, they specifically mentioned that a gas tank on a car blowing up may start a grass fire, but also noted that this wouldn't happen if it was raining, which means that dynamic weather may play a big part in the game too. Buildings will also be destructible, and probably to the extent that they are in Battlefield 1. So for instance, windows, doors, and some internal and external walls can be destroyed, but some structure will remain in place, providing cover for the player inside. They also want some larger structures like bridges to be destroyable, but they don't want that level of mayhem to completely break down strategy within the game. So it sounds like the developers are approaching this with some caution. This all sounds like a lot of thought is being put into these elements. Okay, character customization. We already know that the MMO part of the game will be important, and as part of that, there's going to be loads of customization for your character. This will include hairstyles, tattoos, and scars. Clothing will be part of a progression system and will have lots of mixing and matching available. Weapons and accessories like suppressors, red dot and 4x sights will be looted within the game, although they made a point of saying that they want to move away from RNG having a significant influence on that part of the game, which means that there will be certain locations on the map that players will know are richer with loot than others. They will also have side objectives within the game that will drive players together and reward them for being successful. At this stage, ordinary vehicles will also be in the game, but they won't consider adding armoured vehicles until further down the track, and they actually see that as being part of persistent gameplay rather than the day-to-day Battle Royale part of the game. There will be plenty of skin options for weapons, and they say that they really want to push some boundaries with the weapons skins, so this sounds pretty exciting. They made a point of stressing that Mavericks Proving Grounds is a true MMO game, and your character will progress and change over time, an element that we don't really see developed in other Battle Royale games. When it comes to game mechanics, they say they're putting lots of thought into the map design so that the map isn't just a bunch of houses distributed equally across the terrain like much of PUBG's maps are, especially the new Savage Island map for instance. They see strategy as an important part of the game and they want the map design to reflect that. This is all good stuff, and in my view, it's going to add a lot to the game if the map levels are really well thought out. They also fleetingly mentioned esports during this part of the discussion, so that's definitely on the horizon for Mavericks down the track. When it comes to graphics within the game, the developers say they're working hard to make sure that the graphics settings on your PC won't give you an advantage or a disadvantage within gameplay, in the sense that they have done in PUBG, where players could see other players who thought they were hidden in grassy areas by deliberately setting foliage drawing distance to low. Now, it's pleasing to hear that the developers are wanting to make the game as fair as possible for everyone by addressing that issue. As far as opportunities go to see the game live, the E3 event held in mid-June this year in Los Angeles is going to be a big event for Mavericks Proving Grounds, so be sure to check that out if you are stateside. Now that wraps up my summary of the first Mavericks Proving Grounds roundtable discussion, but be sure to check out the Mavericks subreddit if you'd like to ask more questions about the game and have the developers answer those questions. I'm really pleased how the developers are interacting with the community so far, and I think this bodes well for the game as a whole. Let me know your thoughts about what you've heard today. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.